Hello, welcome. Hearty welcome to you. In this session and the coming sessions, we will be focusing upon sequences and series. In this session, we will try to briefly understand what is the definition of a sequence and what is a series and what are the types of series or progressions which we will be looking into in the coming sessions. To understand sequences, let's have a look at the following numbers given here. What we see here is numbers. Suppose let us take this one, the second one, where I have 1, 3, 2, 84. We call all of these, whatever we have written here, are sequences. Now, suppose somebody comes and asks us, what do you say about this 2 in this particular sequence? You will say that 2 is nothing but the number which is at third position. We'll say that 2 is a number at third position. Similarly, 84 is at fourth position. 3 is at second position. And 1 is at first position. And these numbers 1, 3, 2, 84 are called as terms of a sequence. Now, with this little bit of discussion we had, we can go ahead and define sequence as a sequence is a function whose domain is natural numbers and by default starts with 1, and the range is nothing but the terms of the sequence. What is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is it's a function. A function takes input and gives output. A function is mapped between two data sets, domain and range. A function will have domain and range. Now, domain is counting numbers. Since now by this time you should have understood that the order is important. That's why we are saying what is the position at which a particular term is present. Irrespective of sets where the order is not important, in sequences the order is important, or you can say sequence is a listing. Listing is ordered listing, whereas sets where you don't have importance to order. You are only interested in the what are elements you have, but you are not interested in which element is present at which position. Now, so let me just repeat that a sequence is a function whose domain is nothing but natural numbers by default starting with 1. So I will say 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my domain, and the range will be, let us take suppose same example. My range will be 1, 3, 2, 84. That means the first element of the sequence is 1, second element is 3, third element is 2, and the fourth element is 84. So that's the definition of a sequence. A function whose domain is natural numbers by default starting with 1, and the range is nothing but the terms of the sequence. The numbers which are part of the sequence are called as terms of the sequence. Now, how you represent a term of a sequence? The term of a sequence is represented by, generally the sequence is represented by lowercase a, and the term of a sequence is represented by providing its domain or the position which you want. Suppose I want fourth term, I will say a and 4. A1 represents the first term, A27 represents the 27th term of a particular sequence. Okay. Now, if the whatever the numbers you have in the sequence, if you just add them, then it becomes a series. If you add the terms of a sequence, then the expression is called as series. Okay, right. So, and how we represent a series? We can represent a series. There are two types of series. One is finite, where you can see that what are the terms of the series you have. Suppose I say 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81. That's a series. similarly I have 6, 10, 14, 18. I just decided that I want to add them, then it becomes a series. So if the numbers, the terms of a sequence are added, then the expression is called as series. And the series is represented in two ways. One, directly you can give the terms of the series in such a way that you can understand, in such a way that the pattern or the rule of the sequence can be understood. The other way is, let us look at this simple example. The other way can be, you can specify the rule directly. Now you know a(n) means nth term of the series or sequence here is nothing but equal to n. Suppose I say n by n plus 1. I can specify it like the numbers, the terms of this, or I can specify with the, I can specify the terms of the sequence, or I can specify the rule. So there are two ways how you can represent a sequence or a series if you want to add them up. Okay, right. Now we are more interested about two series, important. Let us just have a look at them. Let's look at the first series I have, where I have 6, 10, 14, 18. You can see that the difference between 10 and 6 is 4. Similarly, 14 and 10 is 4. 18 and 14 is 4. So you see that the difference between two consecutive terms is constant. This type of series is called as arithmetic series or arithmetic progression, and the difference is called as D, denoted by D, nothing but called as common difference. Similarly, you can have a look at this particular series I have, 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81. Here you can see that the ratio of the two terms is constant. 9 by 3 is 3, 27 by 9 is 3, 81 by 27 is 3. So you see that the ratio is constant. It is called as common ratio. We will be mostly dealing with these two series in detail, arithmetic series and geometric series. Arithmetic series is a series in which the consecutive terms are, the difference between the consecutive terms is always constant. It's called as common difference. And geometric series is a series in which the consecutive terms ratio is constant. Like you can take, this is a1, a2, a3, a4. You will see that a3 by a2 equal to a4 by a3, and that ratio is called as common ratio and R. And sometimes the series may have a pattern which may not be arithmetic or geometric. It can be may not be related to arithmetic geometric, but it may need a little bit of time to understand, but it's following a pattern. So you can try what is the pattern of this particular series. Now I have 0, 2, 6, 12 and 20. Can you just think about what is the pattern of this particular series? That brings an interesting point, that sometimes the pattern or the rule of the series can be recursive also. Let us take this example. Let us say I have 1, then I have 1, then I have 2, then I have 3, then I have 5, I have 18 and 13, going on. This sequence, or if you add them up, this series is called as Fibonacci series, which is famous. And if you look at the definition of this, the first term a1 is equal to 1, a2 is equal to 1. After that, you can see that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So you can see that a1 equal to 1, a2 equal to 1 and a3 equal to a1 plus a2. Similarly, a4 equal to a2 plus a3. So can you go ahead and generalize saying that a n plus 1 is equal to a of n plus a of n minus 1. Suppose I want third term. Third term is nothing but equal to second term plus first term. So this way of defining is called recursive. You can also, with respect to the other term, you are defining the next term. This way also you can define the rules, but we are mostly interested in arithmetic and geometric series, where we have discussed that in arithmetic series the difference between the consecutive terms is constant, and in geometric series the ratio between the consecutive terms is constant. In the next session we will focus upon the arithmetic series. We will look at how to find out nth term of arithmetic series, how to find out sum of n terms of arithmetic series, and we will do some interesting examples to apply these concepts. Thanks for visiting. Bye for now. See you in the next session.